Hi there guys. Well, I think you can see what I'm going to do today. Well, as you can see, I've got her up on the lift again. It's been a while now, but she's up there. I've been a bit busy with the powder coating, and as you can see, I've done some stuff. So the steering rack, I've took it apart, I've cleaned everything up, I've then sandblasted the brackets on both sides, I've sandblasted the pipe across there, sandblasted both the arms out the side there and all the plates on the top of the edges there. Then 2 new gaiters, one on either side, and basically that's it. Put it back together again, re-greased it, new gaskets and stuff like that in it. So, well, the steering rack is pretty much like brand new now. While I was busy with the powder coating oven, I have redone that plate there, which I think looks amazing, and I've redone the plate for that one as well. I had just done them with a rattle can before, which looked alright, but it just looks so much better with a powder coat. So done all of that. I've even done the pipe that comes out of here, and the bracket that holds the steering column to the steering rack has been powder coated as well. So today's job is I've got the suspension arms out, and I know everybody's now saying, oh come on Mike, look, you powder coated everything else and this isn't powder coated. I know, but the reason for that is this side, which is the left front side, these parts will be being replaced. That beam there, and I think this gets replaced as well with the new parts, which is for where I've cut out for the gearbox. So those parts will be being replaced. That arm will need powder coating at some point, the same as the hub, but at the moment I want to get the car back on its wheels so that it's easier to move around. So this side, which is the right side, all of these parts are going to be reused. So these parts will definitely be taken apart, sandblasted and powder coated and put back together again at some point. At the moment, I'm not too worried about it. What I want to do is get the car together. This arm here and this bracket is fairly simple for me to just disconnect, powder coat it, put it back together again. It's not a huge job, so I can do that at some point. What I want to start to do is to get the engine in and things like that, but I need to get the car rolling, so I want a rolling chassis again. So that basically is what I'm going to do right now, is start to put stuff back together again, ready for the engine to go back in again. So that is what I'm going to do now, is put both of these suspension legs back on the car, put the wheels back on again, so that I've got a rolling chassis. I've not been doing a lot, well I have been doing a lot with Alice, I've not been filming it, that's all. There's been a lot of stuff going on backstage, as they say. As you can see, the powder coating oven has been busy at work. So all this has now been It's all been sandblasted, powder coated, and it looks absolutely brand new. The bushes that are here, they're not replaced as yet. They're still the original bushes. They weren't too bad, so I'm not too worried about putting them in. Eventually, I'm going to get a Powerflex bush kit, and then I'll be able to change those too, but it's not a big job to change them, so I'll be able to do that. As you can see here, the gearbox also looks amazing. This has also had a bit of a trip in the sandblaster, so it's been all sandblasted off, and then it's had a coat of aluminium primer. It's had a nice coat of Ford silver paint, and then it's had some clear coat on it while I was at it. Obviously the clutch arm had to then be powder coated, so that's been done as well. So that's all back together now, ready to be fitted to the car. So that's got to go back on again. So the first thing to do now is the flywheel needs tightening up. The bolts are a bit loose in here, so I'm going to tighten them up to the correct torque. When that's done, my brand new clutch is going to be fitted to this, and that's going to be centered and torqued into place as well. It's in. Just look pretty nice actually. Got the tie bar replacement kit from Shane Baker. As you can see, this goes underneath the gearbox here. One thing to remember is that that bolt goes in from this direction. The other side goes in from the other direction, and that's because that bolt there is threaded into the end of there. So you do remember that. New bolts in there, nice big fat tie bar kit there, the nice plates all made up here. The only thing left to do now is just tighten that bolt up there. Nice new poly bushes to fit the cradle in place. The nice powder coated cradle looks absolutely amazing under there. Really pleased with all of that. The shiny gearbox looks amazing. The bottom of the sump is not there at the moment, and that, as you'll notice there, and as you'll see there, it's missing a bolt for the windage tray. I want to weld that bolt and then fit it and torque it down. Then I want to fit that bolt, weld it and torque it down, and do the same with that one and then that one. So I want to do them one at a time. So I want to get it up there at the moment. I've got the pickup on order, and I've got the sump, which needs, obviously that needs painting the same as the gearbox to look nice and shiny. I know that these aren't painted yet. They will be coming out, they will be sandblasted at some point. I'm going to change, obviously, these two poly bushes, and that one will also be replaced. Will also be sandblasted and painted at some point, as well as the hubs on both sides. So that's about it under the car, to be quite honest, right now. All right, and that is it from the top side. Those bolts there I want to trim down. I don't like the look of them. They look massive, so they'll get the angle grinder treatment in a bit. Everything else, all nice new shiny bolts in a nice new shiny engine bay. Big fat washer up there. The engine mount from Shane Baker is also bolted into place there, and that gearbox does look amazing in there. I'm quite happy with that. I'm really happy with that. So that's the engine in place. So what we've got here then is the original breather for the engine that's had obviously a trip into the powder coating oven, and it's had a quick coat of grey. It wasn't quite the grey I was hoping it to be. I was hoping for a bit more silver grey, but it'll do. We've also got the original pulley, again done with the powder coat. It's not, again, the grey I was looking for. I'll get some more silver grey. These won't be done again, they're alright as they are. They're there. Gaskets, we've got the rockercover gasket and all the little small seals, so that's there. Sump gasket, got a nice Gates cambelt kit there, so that's going to get fitted. I've ordered the tool to fit this, so that'll be here probably next week, and I'll be able to fit the cambelt to the car and turn the engine over by hand for the first time. We've got an oil filter. Obviously this is a lot shorter than the original Mondeo one. The original Mondeo oil filter was about half as long again, really, so this should fit in the engine bay. We've got the holy grail of master cylinders, because it's a non-ABS one. We've also got the servo. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to say that's not a non-ABS one, and no, you're quite right, it's not a non-ABS one. The plan with this is the original brackets almost fit. I just need to bend that edge there, and they do fit onto the new bolt pattern. So I'm going to use the original brackets that were onto the Fiesta. If I compare the new Mondeo one with the original Fiesta one, right, so what you'll see, apart from the fact that this is absolutely massive compared to the original Mark 1 Fiesta one, is the fitment. This has this massive long pin that's got a little, that's probably had a clip there into the brake pedal, whereas the Mark 1 Fiesta one has got this horseshoe kind of thing that had a pin through there and a clip. And obviously this is really long compared to that one. Now, as I'm using the original brackets from there, I'll fit them to there. It means that the servo will then come the same distance away from the bulkhead as that servo did. I can take a measurement from there to there, so I know how much that is. I can then measure the same distance from there up to this shaft here, chop the shaft off there, chop this piece off there, and I'll be able to weld this piece to the end of this piece, and I'll have a Mark 1 Mondeo servo with the same length pin and the same fitment as the Mark 1 Fiesta. Obviously, I'll be filming all of this and I'll make sure it works, and I'll get it up on YouTube so you lot can see how I'm going with it. So press that subscribe button so you don't miss that important detail. Right, we'll move on from there. Right, well, I've been shopping, and I've been shopping with these guys, DA Performance Engineering in the UK. So we've got a inlet manifold there in aluminium, and I've also got an exhaust manifold. My plan here is then to weld my own manifolds. I can already MIG weld, so that one I'm not too worried about, so that's not a problem. This one is obviously aluminium, so I'm gonna have to learn to aluminium weld, but well, that's not a bad thing, is it? I'm quite happy to do that. So I'm going to learn to aluminium weld. So I've got some pipe on order ready for that, and I'll be able to make the pipes, but I'll obviously film it and I'll let you guys see how I get along with that. Right, so the next and last thing that I bought at the moment, and this is probably the part that I'm probably the most excited about, I've got some carbs. I've finally got some bike carbs. These are 37mm bike carbs, and they are off of a Honda CBR 600. I'm really looking forward to getting the manifold made up and putting these on, but it means I'm one step closer to be able to put the engine together. Obviously this has got the throttle position sensor, so that means as soon as I get this manifold made up and put this on the car, I can start wiring in the throttle position sensor, and I can wire in the ECU to the rest of the engine, and hopefully I'll be able to start the engine soon. Whether it'll start, I don't know, but I'll be able to start it at least. Right, so that is pretty much where I'm at the moment. I'm quite happy to put this car down on the ground now, and it will hopefully have lost all that negative camber that it had, and it'll start to look a bit more like a car. I'm going to go over now and start learning to aluminium weld, so wish me luck with that. If you want to see the rest of this video, and want to see me getting the rest of this car up and running, and hopefully in the next few videos I should be able to turn the engine over for the first time. So if you like what you've seen, you want to see more, press that subscribe button, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Thanks a lot, and bye bye.